How's it going, everyone? Petty Kish Hun here with another news topic video. Today we're going to be talking about some gaming here and some movies, entertainment. But mostly today is pretty much this new game was shown off, the Xbox Showcase, because Xbox bought out Bethesda company. And Bethesda showed off their new Indiana Jones games, which is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So people seen it. I think it's getting mixed reactions. Some people are saying this looks like a great game. It looks awesome. And then some people say it looks like a mid-ass game. It's not too crazy. It's just whatever kind of game. We're going to be looking into that, as well as a lot of people found out a lot of things about it, especially in these articles I'm going to be reading, and I've noticed it myself, about this game is representing the modern audience, gameplay-wise, story-wise. It's going to be that kind of game. You already know. We're going to be getting into that as well. And my own opinions as a huge Indiana Jones fan. I love myself some Indiana Jones. What do I think about this game? I'm going to get into that as well. But first, before we do that, I'd love it if you guys could like, share, sub, follow, all the things. I'd really appreciate it. I'm growing this community each day. That would be really awesome if you could do that. Thank you. All right, enough of that. Let's get into this topic ahead about this Indiana Jones, the Great Circle. Let's see, is it actually worth looking into? Or is this just, it's coming by, people are just, it's just a fad where it's like people are just gonna say, oh, it looks cool, it's Indiana Jones, because everyone loves Indiana Jones, right? Well, we'll see. So is it really that big of a deal? Is it really gonna be a good one? Well, so let's get into this article right now. All right, so we're on Bonding Into Comics, really great place. Shout out to Bonding Into Comics. They retweeted me recently on a tweet I had, or you can say X. And yeah, they retweeted me, and so it was awesome. So shout out to them. Thanks very much, Bonding Into Comics. I have a lot of videos on them. They have a great place. I really like what they're doing with their articles, and it's really opening a lot of people up to what the entertainment space has become. All right, so there's an article here. Let's read it. It's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Dev confirms Microsoft exclusive being developed for a modern gaming audience. Ooh, okay. I did watch the trailer. I love Indiana Jones, guys. That's the thing. I'm a really big fan of Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was the first kind of like pulp adventure fiction, story that really, inspired me on these great stories and adventures. It was one of the things I grew up watching a lot too. I loved Indiana Jones. Same with like Star Wars and stuff, obviously. But Indiana Jones was the premise of why I got really into like Uncharted and like Tomb Raider and all those games, because it pretty much started out. It was one of those adventure stories, and it had some mystery, romance, action. It was great. I loved it. But, everything changes because it's modernized usually. So let's see. Let's read into this one. So the graphics look pretty decent. It's all right. I think it could be better, but I don't think it looks that impressive for, my opinion, the graphics wise. But okay, in essentially foreshadowing any hope that the game might have focused on delivering an adventure fit for the fedora-wearing hero, the senior narrative designer behind the upcoming Indiana Jones and the Great Circle has confirmed that the hero's long-awaited return to the realm of video games is being explicitly developed for a modern game audience. Just letting you guys know, I think the name of the game is laughably bad. It's such a dumb name, like compared to like what the other Indiana Jones movies names were, it's night and day.
Trust me.
It's kind of weird. Okay, so let's read more into this. Owned by Wolfenstein Revival series devs, Machine Games, and featuring a story panned by Bethesda Studios, director Todd Howard himself, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will see players put in first-person control of Indy, as voiced by Troy Baker. Oh, Troy Baker. I don't like Troy Baker's takes. He's a good voice actor. I'm not saying that. He's a good actor. He's really good. But his takes, not good. He's just... he has the worst takes. Troy Baker. I'm not a big fan of Troy Baker. He's in everything. You played a game that had Troy Baker in it. You watched something with animation, or you watched the Last of Us show that had Troy Baker in it. Troy Baker is everywhere. And they couldn't get someone else to do the Harrison Ford imitation. Only Troy Baker. Because Troy Baker is the one for everything. Back to it. As he attempts to explore, whip, and brawl his way in a global spinning quest to stop the villainous Emmerich boss, as voiced by Mario Gorvins? I don't know who that is. It might be a German actor. I'm not sure. From making use of the eponymous Great Circle, a worldwide network of magic-heavy location whose activation will imbue its master with great power. Okay. That's the Great Circle in this image. Okay, so it's just like locations that will give you great power. Kind of lame, actually, to be honest. I'd rather see like Indiana Jones finding these like ancient civilizations, or he just finds something interesting, or like a relic from there or something, because yeah, he finds all this like cool historian stuff and brings it in, but it's mostly like secured by the government, you know, kind of deal. So are these artifacts and interesting mysteries. I'm really not digging the idea, pretty much. All right, so notably, like Star Wars, The Force Unleashed before it, the game will also serve as canonical entry into the franchise. Its events taking place in 1937 between Indy's adventure in Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. Okay, so yeah, they both had the German Nazis pretty much in those, so it's during that time period. Okay, so it's between those. They didn't even mention Temple of Doom. They don't know where in between that, but yeah. First announced in January 2021, players were not given their first look at Indiana Jones and the Great Circle for 3 years. Interesting. Yeah, I remember watching that teaser and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this Bethesda game company. You know, Bethesda has made some bangers, but recently, not so much. Its world premiere eventually taking place during Bethesda Studios' parent company Microsoft January 18th, 2024 development direct presentation. However, while the trailer did its job for sparking excitement in players across the internet, this reception was quickly dulled by a separate game overview video released by Machine Games after the presentation. Then, following a hope-inspiring declaration from the game's cinematic producer Mitra Ashikan that they rightly observed Indy as being an archaeologist, a charismatic everman, passionate and determined, and synonymous with adventure. Fans hoped that the Great Circle would avoid the industry's current obsession with heavy-handed player-holding narrative, were dashed by senior narrative designer Edward Curtis Chivis' subsequent expression of excitement towards the fact that now we have a chance to tell a new Indiana Jones story for modern gaming audience. Yikes. So this is senior narrative designer. Okay, so he said that. Interesting. Usually when I hear modern audiences, I always think the companies thinking about this, not the fans, not the people that love this product, not the people that would be interested in it. They think about their little bubbles, I guess, I would think, because modern audience, what does that actually mean? Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. What modern audience? You mean people that want to play a game with better resolutions, better, gameplay, anything like that? But why do you put modern audience? Like, who are you trying to attract with this? Why do you have to put that in there? I always question that. And modern audiences is always not a good sign, usually. And thought the fact would normally warrant little more than an eye of caution towards the game's development in light of Curtis and Nishin hopes that the game would avoid contemporary storytelling pitfalls or even further buried when Machine Games introduced the game's second main protagonist, Gina, as portrayed by Alessandra Montanardi. Sorry if I butchered that. So, where Indy is pursuing answers just for the sake of curiosity, Gina has a personal stake in getting to the bottom of the core mystery. Detailed, Peter Ward, the game's audio director of this new character, Gina, is an investigating reporter who has a lot riding on this adventure. She has been tracking a lead for a long time, and now she has found an ally in the determined American professor. Their paths are intertwined, and they'll need each other in order to get the bottom of this mystery. Okay. I guess. I don't know if this is true. I'm just guessing. This is just, my guess, my gut feeling that she is going to be, you're going to be playing as her in some parts of the game. She might get more story than Indiana Jones. You never know. Indiana Jones might be of his own game. They do this a lot. Indiana Jones might get sidelined on his own game, and she might take over Indiana Jones's character in the story. But that's just me. I'm just guessing that. I could be wrong. The gameplay they show is all indie, but that's probably gonna change. They did that. They did parts with that in the new Spider-Man as well, where you have to play as Mary Jane. No one wants to play as Mary Jane. Everyone wants to play Spider-Man. So they're forcing down these things that people don't want. You can just like in Uncharted, you had Nathan Drake. You played Nathan Drake through the whole thing. You never played Elena. You never played Sully. You never played Chloe. You never played these other characters. They were just their characters to help Nathan Drake out with the story. They tried to help him out, but he did everything by himself. He was the adventurer. He wanted to find all these treasures. Lara Croft is just by herself. She didn't have no help, and you always play as Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider games. Indiana Jones could have someone on their adventure, but why are you gonna, why would you force this character on me? Who is this character? I want to play as Indiana Jones. It says Indiana Jones on the game, so let me play as Indiana Jones. That's what it is. There's some characters you just want to play as, sometimes it's cool to add, a new character, but if the story lets the character expand on themselves, they have something to show for it, and it's, it's an awesome character, and you're like, I wish I could play this character. Let me play this character, They'll listen to the fan base. But if people don't care about this character and it's just a side character of the main character, what's the point? As always, there of course remains the distinct possibility that the aspect of modern audience Curtis was referring to relates to the elevated gameplay expectations of current gen players. But let's be real, history has shown us that this will more than likely not be the case. Exactly. I don't think so, but who knows? Instead, the odds lean heavily toward Machine Games, bringing modernity to the world of Indiana Jones via a script that emasculates the hero, takes the spotlight away from him in favor of this new progressive campaign, and insults anyone who ever dared to like the franchise before the devs and their cligs give their stamp of approval. That's what everyone's worried about. That's what everyone is definitely worried about, and I'm one of them too. Ultimately, players will be able to find out just what fate lies in store for Indy when Indiana Jones and the Great Circle releases exclusively on PC and Xbox Series X and S platforms sometimes later this year. And there's the girl character Gina. Okay, then let's see if you can keep up. And Indiana Jones, I saw in the trailer, he's like, what? What do you mean that? You know, she's like, she's smarter, better than Indiana Jones in every way, you know, that kind of character. And no one likes the girl boss. You can have a good rounded character with good storytelling and still be, you know, smart, strong, and all that. But I feel like she's not going to be written well, and she's going to just take over Indiana Jones completely in the wrong ways. That's what I think. All right, so Bethesda tweeted this out. Indiana Jones, hashtag Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, is an all-new adventure game and features a mix of combat, stealth, puzzles, gunplay, and, of course, Indy's whip. Use it for traversal as a distraction for taking out enemies. So it's like a first-person puzzle game. It gives me like Wolfenstein vibes, maybe a little bit of Doom, Dishonored, and of course Tomb Raider because of the tombs, and Uncharted with all the puzzles, you know, doing all that stuff. It's definitely not going to be an Uncharted clone. It's not going to be a Tomb Raider clone. It seems like its own thing. I don't know how good it's going to look. It looks really mid to me. Like I said, I love Indiana Jones, but this looks like a mid-ass game. Pop out. Not really looking forward to it, especially after that criminal new movie and a game company that has lost its touch with another recent Starfield incident. We know that, right, guys? The Starfield incident. Just look at Az versus Babyface, and you'll know he did not like that game. It was his thing was more trendy. More people were talking about his rant about Starfield than Starfield. That's how bad that game Starfield is. Reviews were horrible for that game. I knew it from the start that game would tank, and it did. And it's an overreacted game, overhyped game. This is not, this is the same. I feel like this is going to be the same thing. It doesn't look innovative. It doesn't look interesting at all for me, in my point of view. It doesn't look, it doesn't like a game I want to pick up. It looks like a game I would get on like a really, really cheap sale, you know? Like, if I even got this like a free game on Epic Game Store, or like a free game on Steam, or like a discounted $10 game. This looks like that. I don't know why. It's just me. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, no, you're wrong. But, you know, that's just my opinion. Also, the name is laughably bad. Yep. Laughably bad. Don't like the name. Stupid as hell. This game is... I'm just saying it right now that this game is gonna do well, just like Starfield in the beginning, and then everyone is gonna want their monies back. This game is gonna be broken because it's a Bethesda game. It's usually broken, and I think it's gonna be a shit show. It's not gonna be good. I don't care what anyone says. My gut feeling says this game is gonna be trash. It might be, some people might love it. Some people might love it. I'm not saying it's going to be completely bad. There might be some cool mechanics you can use here and there. But what I saw is not inspiring, not cool at all. It's another first-person shooter game, sort of like Wolfenstein. Even Wolfenstein is not really inspiring no more. Other games have been doing that. Doom and all that. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that good of a game, to be honest. And it's sad because I would love to have a cool Indiana Jones game, but like, just let Indiana Jones go, especially Disney. Let it go after that trash fire of Dial of Diarrhea, Dial of Destiny. Let Indy go. He's old. He needs his time. There's no other story. There could have been more stories to tell in the past if Harrison Ford was up for it. But the problem is they didn't. So let Indy let it stop. Let's just stop with this. Indy needs to go. We have video game characters that are like Indiana Jones. They're called Lara Croft and Nathan Drake. Let them have their shine. Let them have their new modern take of an archaeologist or like an adventurer. Let them have it, But don't do it for modern audiences. That's for a fact. Don't do that. Please don't. If they made another Uncharted, I'd probably dislike it. Uncharted ended so well as it did. If they made another Uncharted, I'd probably would be uproared about it, and I probably would never. I probably would play it. Probably, if it was on sale, but I would not, play it. I don't want to support that game because if it's done well, I would be up in the airs. I would love it. It would be awesome. But I know for a fact, especially in today's gaming, it would just be ruined. I just know. It'd just be ruined. If like an Eastern developer made Uncharted, I would be like, okay, we're going somewhere. This is interesting. Same with Tomb Raider. If Tomb Raider was given to an Eastern developer, I would be like, okay, I want to see what they can do, But they won't. Same with Indiana Jones. Maybe even an Eastern development, because the Eastern developers recently, they've been kicking ass with their games and, their media. So their pulp culture. People are loving what they're doing. So the East is awesome what they're doing with all their entertainment. So I would love to see it. And then I want to show you guys this. The red flags came up when I saw this. I saw this at the Xbox Developer Direct for the new Indiana Jones. This is the senior narrative designer working on the game. It's real, not a fake. I'm not surprised one bit. Look at this. Edward Curtis. Here's that guy we were talking about. We have the opportunity to tell Indiana Jones to modern audiences. I don't know how I feel about this. Look at this. This is the guy, the narrative guy, who's doing the story. Let that sink in. Even the look, like, he's just promoting it straight up out there with the rainbow Bethesda logo right there on his chest. He's proud of it. He's exposing it. There you go. I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. You can do this without showing your sexuality of what you are. You could have been fine. You could have a proper hairdo. You don't have to expose it like, yo, look at me. Look what my sex is. This is what I'm into. Like, this is pandering to the finest. This is literally shoving it right into your face. Like, believe it. Look at this. This is just sad. This is sad. I know people are gonna be like, why is this a big deal? This guy's just making the game. If you look into his portfolio, I've seen people talk about it. He hasn't made a game yet. And he has like one of the biggest IPs, Indiana Jones. It's like the Star Wars thing that recently happened, where this woman is doing a Rey movie, a big Star Wars movie for Disney, and she never made, she only made like documentary movies, and she has like one of the biggest IPs to do like a Star Wars movie for. He probably has pronouns in his bio. He probably has pronouns. Yes, he, him. Or he has they, them. You never know. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad to see this, where Indiana Jones is going. Yeah. Very, very sad. And that's why I think Indiana Jones is not going into the right place. There's a lot of red flags. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, guys. I want to be wrong. I want to make... This game is going to be awesome. It's going to be one of the best experiences. I love it. I would be happy as heck if that was actually true. But the things, the factual information, and all the things are not adding up. Rip Indy. Rip Indy for sure. The movie and now the game. There you go. Yeah, what do you guys think, though, overall? Not just my opinion. I want to know you guys. Tell me in the comments. Do you think this is going to be a great game, or this is going to be a really horrible game overall, even with the modern audience takes? And just overall, what do you think? Because, like I said, I think it's a mid-game. I don't think I'm going to get it, day one. I'm probably just going to see other people play it and see what they think. It's not worth my money, my $70 for this game. So, I don't know. What do you guys think overall? Don't forget to like and follow, especially on here. And for more of this kind of content, check me on here and everywhere else. And if you've been watching this video for this long, I appreciate it very much, and I'm very thankful. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys. See ya.